Hello, everybody. I'm standing here in front of a vintage case that has some pretty significant holes in it. That's because today is of our part two of our best of 2025 series. I do 3 of these every year. I do top autograph acquisitions, top vintage acquisitions, and top 10 TTM acquisitions. This is a vintage show, so let's get it started. I start with the same caveat I always give. These are not in order of value. That is not how I see cards. I don't see dollar signs. Rather, just how excited I was to pick it up, how much I would miss it if it disappeared or I had to give it up, and just how cool I think it is for my collection. Starting out at number 10, I didn't expect to have a panel rookie card ever in a countdown like this, but this one helped me finish off the 73 set. And I tried to rage bait some of you by saying Ron Say's name wrong in my reveal video, but nobody went for it. I guess you figured I really knew how to say his name, especially since he's a Washington native. This is the only card for my 73 set I have graded, just figuring that if I ever need to liquidate the set, people will want to know what they're getting when they get the Schmidt rookie. And so that is why I went with that at number 10. Number 9 is a acquisition for Glory of Their Times and is not a card. It's a pin. It's a national pickup. This is Chief Myers 1910-12 Sweet Cap pen in an 8. And I think I got a great deal on this. I looked up other commons, completed auctions, commons. There were 8s while I was at the show, and I didn't see a single one that was under $100. And this one I got for 70, so I figured it had to be a good buy. And I did a good job of adding to the Glory of Their Times collection this year, including number 8, which was my last purchase of the National, Hans Lobart on this Mecha double folder. I bought it ungraded. I knew it would come back at 1.5 because it had some paper loss there, but I was fine with that. It was the very last full day at the show, and I had like $80 left in my name, and I think I got the guy maybe down to 70 from there. Pulled the trigger, but happy to check him off of the checklist for my Glory of Their Times cards. Number 7 is a 52 Wheaties. I love this set. I look forward to growing it some this year in 2026. This is the only card I added in 2025 for that set. But there's an autogram on the 52 Wheaties. There's something about that Wheaties color. Something about it. I think it's nostalgia for me because that's the cereal I had in my house pretty much when I was a kid, and my dad still eats it. So number 6 is just a classic 70s card. Found this at a show for a great deal. Johnny Bench on the 76 tops with just the great kind of gunslinger, sort of full catcher gear. Just what an awesome card, and not very expensive, but again, not really how I look at cards. Rather, just look at how cool that card is. You can't get many cooler. There's not many cooler cards than that one. Number 5, I was lucky enough to win a credit to a Rabbit Hole auction. Shout out to Justin from Rabbit Hole. Won a credit on Golden Age of Cardboard. And during his first auctions, I got 2 cards, and they're both here in my top 5. And this first one wasn't necessarily on my radar to begin with, but the more I looked at it, the more I wanted it. because I love his story and I love Diamond Stars. But here's a Sam Rice Diamond Stars. And I'm not going to go and recount his whole story here on this video because it's been done so often on YouTube. He seems to be kind of like a YouTube favorite. Just because he had such a crazy life and was such a great ball player. And he has a lot of really, really cool cards. And it doesn't get much cooler than Diamond Stars. This next card I didn't expect to like as much as I do, if that makes sense. But I wanted to add some nice Fred Hutchinson cards to the collection this year. And he's a Seattle baseball legend. And at some point, I'll be telling his story in more detail. But I found this StarCal Decals card of him. And I don't know what... first off, I got it. I looked through probably 8 to 10 different piles of commons before I came across this one. And for whatever reason, it was marked way lower than most of the other commons. And then I got it for $10 cheaper than that. So part of me likes that I got such a good deal on it. But I just like that it's still in the original envelope, and the colors, the color combination, the clarity of the image, a facsimile autograph. As I sit here in my desk and I can look around my room at my displays, my eyes always go right to this. And because of that, it's moved really far up my list into spot number 4. Number 3 is the other card I got with my Rabbit Hole Auctions credit. And that's a 1940 play ball Hank Greenberg. And this was a major add to my Glory of Their Times collection. I wanted to add 2 Hall of Famers to my Glory collection this year in 2025, and I was able to do that. And I was so grateful that this popped up as an option, and I was able to snake it out from underneath somebody. I don't know who the second bidder was, but mine now. Card I looked for a long time, mostly because I wanted to buy it in person. And for whatever reason, at my 2 previous nationals, I just never saw it. So when I came across this one, 64 stand-up Brooks Robinson at 2025 National, it was really a no-brainer. I snatched it up right away. I did see one more the next day that was probably in a little better condition. But because this is the one I found and the one I was excited to find, I happily snatched it up. I sent it off to SGC myself. And that's another one. My eyes just go right to it just because of the color combinations and just the personal journey it took for me to pick it up. Number 1 was my biggest acquisition at the National. It's actually my biggest acquisition ever. And I sort of pre-shopped this through the eBay store. And so when I got there, I just picked it out. I probably bought it within an hour of hitting the floor. But that's this Philadelphia Caramel Sam Crawford for the Glory collection. That's the other Hall of Famer I added besides Greenberg. And there's some staining here, which you see. And I really love as you flip it over. Big stain on the back. Gives it so much character. Right there in with the caramel. Someone gobbled up that caramel and kept this card in nice enough shape so that I could have it 100 and whatever, 20 years later. Yeah, let's call it 120. Great color. I love everything about it. And I keep thinking, like, where do my eyes go when I look at my displays? And that's sort of one approach in putting the list together. But let's do one more thing. You know I like to do this if you've seen my other videos. Now that I got them rearranged, reach down here and pick out a card for your PC. Enter it in the comments below. What's your favorite from here for you? You know mine's right here because that's what the point of the list was. Next up will be TTMs. It might be a few days before I get that one out, but it will come. Until then, thanks for watching. And remember, we don't count subscribers, we count friends.